In the age of the internet, an entire goldmine of knowledge is never more than a few clicks away. The problem is that it sometimes seems like there's just too much out there. How do you decide what's worth knowing and what only clogs up your brain with useless nonsense? That's where we come in. From the weird and wonderful to the downright amazing, coming up are 7 facts you didn't know 5 minutes ago. The Topless Revolution: How Women Won the Right to Go Topless in New York City. In the early 1990s, a group of brave women in New York City started a movement to challenge the taboo surrounding female nudity in public spaces. They argued that men had the legal right to go topless, so why shouldn't women have the same right? After years of legal battles and protests, the New York State Court of Appeals finally ruled in 1992 that women could indeed go topless in public without fear of arrest or harassment. This decision was seen as a major victory for gender equality and freedom of expression. This law came into effect after a landmark court case where a woman named Ramona was arrested in 1986 for going topless in a public place. She sued the city and the police department for wrongful arrest and won her case. The court's decision was that women have the same constitutional right to go topless in public as men. Since then, women in New York City have exercised their right to bare their chests in various public spaces, including parks, beaches, and even the streets. While some may still find it controversial, many see it as a powerful symbol of women's empowerment and body positivity. So next time you're strolling through Central Park or lounging on Coney Island Beach, don't be surprised if you see a group of topless women enjoying the sunshine. It's all perfectly legal in the Big Apple. The fight to protect children. Imagine a world where children were not legally protected from being bought and sold like commodities. It's hard to fathom, right? Unfortunately, this was a harsh reality for the state of Mississippi until 2009. In 2008, a grandmother attempted to sell her own flesh and blood, her granddaughter, for a mere $2,000 and a car. But as shocking as this may seem, what's even more shocking is that she wasn't breaking any law at the time. In fact, Mississippi did not have any specific legislation in place that made child selling illegal. This realization sent shockwaves through the state and sparked a movement to amend the existing laws. Finally, in 2009, Mississippi passed a law that made it illegal to sell children, punishable by up to 30 years in prison. The state had finally taken a step towards protecting the most vulnerable members of society. The oldest hotel in the world from 705 AD to present day. The world's oldest continuously running business is called Nishiyama Onsen Kyokan, a hot springs hotel located in Japan. The hotel has been owned and operated by the same family for over 52 generations, with a recorded history dating back to the year 705 AD, originally founded as a resting place for travelers visiting the nearby temple. The hotel's hot springs were believed to have healing properties, attracting many visitors seeking health and relaxation. Over the centuries, the hotel has undergone numerous renovations and expansions to accommodate more guests and modern amenities. Despite the passage of time and various challenges, including fires and natural disasters, Nishiyama Onsen has remained in continuous operation for over 1,300 years, making it the oldest business in the world. Today, the hotel continues to welcome guests from around the world who come to experience the traditional Japanese hospitality and relax in the natural hot springs. How Oscar the therapy cat predicted patients' deaths. The story of Oscar the therapy cat began in 2005. when he was adopted by the staff of the Steer House Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Providence, Rhode Island. Oscar was originally intended to be a regular therapy cat, providing comfort and companionship to the residents of the facility. However, it soon became apparent that there was something special about Oscar. Oscar had a habit of curling up next to patients who were about to die. His behavior was observed by the staff, who noticed that in many cases, patients who were visited by Oscar would pass away within a few hours. In fact, Oscar was so accurate in predicting impending death that the staff started using his behavior as a way to identify which patients were in their final hours. The staff of the nursing home started to take Oscar's behavior seriously, and they would notify family members of residents when Oscar was observed curling up next to their loved ones. This allowed family members to come and say goodbye before their loved one passed away. Oscar's ability to predict death became so well known that the story was covered by news outlets around the world. Unilever and Proctor Gamble pay the price for price fixing. In 2011, Unilever and Proctor Gamble, two of the largest consumer goods companies in the world, were accused of fixing washing powder prices in 8 European countries. The companies were alleged to have coordinated price increases for their washing powders and other laundry products, and to have shared commercially sensitive information about pricing and sales strategies. The European Commission launched an investigation into the allegations and found evidence of a cartel operating in the market. The Commission imposed fines totaling $456 million on Unilever and Procter & Gamble for breaching EU antitrust rules. However, the companies were given a 10% discount on their fines for cooperating with the Commission's investigation and admitting to their involvement in the cartel. A man's death-defying journey on the Indian Pacific train. An American tourist, identified as Matthew Brace, boarding the Indian Pacific train in Adelaide, Australia, for a journey to Perth, which covers a distance of over 2,700 miles. However, Brace got confused about the train schedule and arrived late at the station, just as the train was about to leave. Despite his late arrival, Brace tried to board the train, but the conductors had already closed the doors. With no other option, Brace decided to climb onto the outside of the train and hold on to the ladder. As the train picked up speed, Brace found himself hanging outside in freezing temperatures, with nothing but a t-shirt and jeans to protect him from the elements. Brace clung to the train for more than 2 hours as it traveled over 124 miles through the Australian outback. He held on to the ladder for dear life, fearing that he might fall off at any moment. He also had to endure the freezing cold, with temperatures dropping below zero. Meanwhile, the train staff became aware of Brace's presence on the outside of the train and contacted the next station to arrange for his rescue. When the train finally arrived at the next station, Brace was met by a team of paramedics who took him to the hospital. He was treated for hypothermia, dehydration, and exhaustion. The incident made international headlines, with many people calling it a miracle that Brace survived the ordeal. The Indian Pacific Train Company apologized to Brace and refunded his ticket. However, they also issued a warning to other passengers, urging them to arrive at the station on time and follow the safety instructions. Exploring Ethiopia's unique calendar. In the land of Ethiopia, time seems to move in a different rhythm altogether. While the rest of the world gears up to welcome 2023, the people of Ethiopia are still living in the year 2016. Yes, you heard it right. Ethiopia has a unique calendar, which is about 7 to 8 years behind the rest of the world. The Ethiopian calendar, also known as the Gias calendar, is based on the ancient Coptic calendar and is a solar calendar, which means it follows the movement of the sun. This unique calendar has become a source of pride for the people of Ethiopia and is an important part of their cultural heritage. So the next time you're in Ethiopia, remember to adjust your calendar and enjoy the experience of living in a different time zone altogether. These facts may sound strange and unbelievable, but they are all true and verified by various sources. So this is all for today. Tell us in the comments section which interesting fact you like the most, and did we miss out on any other fact? We hope you enjoyed the video. If you have learned something new today, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Weird World Facts. Give it thumbs up and ring the notification bell button for our latest video updates.